So, should we review one of the greatest movies of all time?
I guess so.
Cool.
I mean, we're in the right place.
Hell yeah.
This is pretty nice. A little bright, but pretty nice.
Yeah. A little wary about the location, but yeah.
I don't think any of those dinosaurs will get out.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. What was that? Hey, this is the Out of Touch podcast.
Oh, you're introing now.
It's Jurassic Park. You're damn right I'm introing.
All right. Then intro away.
I just did.
Okay.
I'm Bill. What the fuck is your name?
Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Steve.
We've known each other for like 15 years.
Longer than that, actually.
Anyway. So, yes, we were watching Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, the, I guess, master of filmmaking, undisputed top of the game right now.
I mean, he's absolutely one of the greatest filmmakers, greatest blockbuster filmmakers, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
His track record, especially in like the 70s through the 80s and 90s, is like fantastic. And he's still hitting home runs and
yeah. I don't know how to explain some of his movies because it's like Jurassic Park. It's like a horror movie, but it's also like an adventure thrill ride.
He manages to make movies that, even though ones that are PG-13, they can still be enjoyed by people of all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's got his like a lot of his recurring themes, like he loves family stuff.
Yeah.
He likes adventuring, and he likes less is more, especially in his older movies.
Yeah. I guess like there's also like there's usually like some kids in his movies too.
Yeah.
Like childhood wonderment and stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess a movie really that doesn't need any introduction, but like I guess a short synopsis. John Hammond is a Scottish billionaire that decides to make a park filled with dinosaurs.
Yep.
And Alan Grant is a scientist who doesn't like children, but learns a lesson at the end of the movie.
Pretty much. And then, of course, there's Dennis Nedry, who is greedy and ruins everybody's good time.
It's funny, you remembered his name. I just know him as like, hey, it's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
I have seen this movie so many times. I've read the fucking book more than once. I've read the comic book adaptation of Jurassic Park. This movie's in my brain. It's ingrained. It's one of, there's a handful of movies that are just permanently in my head. They're just printed in my brain. If they took out my brain and x-rayed it, they would find like Ninja Turtles, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, and like Home Alone and things like that I saw like 1,000 times growing up.
Yeah. It's funny, this movie, you know, it's older than I thought it was. 1993.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, and the effects, for the most part, look great. In fact, it's kind of like shocking how good they look, because I'm sure they've been cleaned up a little bit over the years.
Not really. Other than, you know, releasing like HD versions and stuff like that. It's not like George Lucas did and went back and like fiddled with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was like a good combination of like practical and CGI. I mean, especially with the T-Rex head, right?
Oh my God, that T-Rex robot. It's not just the head.
Oh, okay.
There's like a torso and everything.
Wow. And were some of like what are they? Brontosauruses?
There's a Brachiosaurus animatronic head.
Yeah.
There was a full-size Triceratops. There's Dilophosaurus. There's the raptor puppets. And of course, the creme de la creme is the T-Rex puppet. Yeah. All made by Stan Winston and his crew.
Wow, okay.
Stan Winston, for those that don't know, he was the king of animatronics. He worked on Aliens. Him and his team made like the Alien Queen. Worked on the first 3 Terminator movies, Jurassic Park movies, and one of his last contributions was they built the practical Iron Man suit.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was like the last big thing he worked on before he passed.
Huh. So, a movie wizard.
Yeah, very much so.
So how do we get into talking about one of the greatest movies ever made?
Well, I mean, it's got a 6th installment coming out later this year.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I thought, okay, this franchise is done.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, too, like, it's like Jurassic Park was really good, and then like Jurassic Park 2 came out, and I thought it was like fine when I was a kid. Like, you know, I was pretty young when it came out, and then I remember like people saying like, "Whoa, Jurassic Park 3 is like bad," but it's kind of like everybody talks about like Jurassic Park, but then they don't really talk about the sequels, and then now we have Jurassic World and Jurassic World 5. I cannot.
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom is number 5.
Yes.
And the new one will be Dominion.
That's right. And they've finally started making more stuff, like short films and a cartoon show on Netflix that's actually pretty good. Man, I would have fucking killed for a Jurassic Park cartoon when I was a kid.
It's unbelievable there wasn't a Jurassic Park cartoon in the 90s.
They almost made one, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, because there were so many toys, I remember.
Yeah. At least one of the toy lines that came out when we were younger was supposed to be for a cartoon.
Interesting.
I think it was something called like Chaos Effect or something. Something involving a lot of weird mutant and hybrid dinosaur crap.
Okay. I guess that would be the...
Do you remember the ones they had like, they were all like weird colors and stuff?
Yeah.
That, I think.
Okay. Chaos Effect. I guess that would be like the Ian Malcolm, like, group doing something.
I mean, they wouldn't be doing something, but the name is obviously a nod to the Ian Malcolm character and his chaos theory.
Right. But anyway, so how do we talk about this movie?
I mean, it's Jurassic Park. It is one of those movies that almost needs no introduction.
Indeed.
But, I mean, it is the story of science gone awry. You know, it's tale as old as time, like the Frankenstein story, like where you're meddling in things that maybe you shouldn't meddle in.
Yeah.
You're creating dinosaurs. You're bringing back these creatures that have been extinct for over 65 million years. You're just going to drop them on an island in a theme park? And like you're going to try to control it, micromanage it to a point where you're like, no, we're going to fiddle with their chromosomes and make sure there's only female. They're not going to breed. We're not going to let anything happen. We got all this automation, all these top-of-the-line stuff. Nothing can go wrong, and everything went wrong.
Yeah. Also, the classic tale of Scottish billionaires and their adventures going amok.
Man, could you imagine the Walt Disney version of this with Scrooge McDuck?
I would love to see that.
I'm amazed there hasn't been like some kind of spoof in an episode of DuckTales.
Yeah.
Or a comic. Unless there has been and we just don't know about it.
Who knows? It's been around for a long time. But, yeah, you know, it's weird because the human characters are kind of like, in this movie they support the story, but honestly, like, I don't really know if, like, any of the human characters, like, stand out too much besides for, like, some of, like, the weirder, like, I guess, eccentricities of, like, some of the filming, like, Jeff Goldblum, like, literally just being injured and, like, having his, like, check out, like, my pinup pose and, stuff.
Jurassic Park was kind of a breakout role for Jeff Goldblum in a lot of ways. Like he did, like, The Fly and stuff before that, but this kind of got him more mainstream attention.
Yeah.
And, you know, the rest of the characters, they're just meant to be relatable, normal people. Like, Spielberg deliberately just like, I'm just going to go for just, like, actors that just seem natural. It's why Alan Grant's character arc is just simply going from hating kids to liking kids.
Yeah. And he's like, just, like, a normal guy, mostly, like, he's a paleontologist, but, like, you know, compared to, like, Chris Pratt, like, in the new movies, like, riding motorcycles and stuff, it's like, he's just, like, a normal guy, like, to be like, oh, shit, a T-Rex, what do I do?
Yeah, he's not action survival man.
Yeah.
Even though he comes into the movie dressed like Indiana Jones almost, with the hat and everything.
Yeah, kind of, you know? It's weird, like, the Jurassic Park island, I guess, is located... I always get confused, because they say it's close to Costa Rica, so yes. I guess it's, like, somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, or, like, in the Caribbean type of thing. And then, like... you know, being in that area, they're like, a tropical storm's coming. And I'm like, of course a tropical storm is coming. Do you not know where you are?
It's a terrible location.
Yeah.
There's even a line where Hammond's all like, oh, God, why didn't I build it in Orlando?
Yeah, seriously. Or, like, the other side of, like, the, you know, peninsula of North America on the Pacific Ocean side.
Or as we find out in the second movie, his original plan was freaking San Diego.
Oh, my God. John Hammond is kind of a crazy rich guy. And he's not, like, I guess like a villain.
No.
He's like good intentioned, but like
He's
kind of blind to like the stuff he's doing.
His ambition is blinding him to the reality of the situation. The John Hammond of the movie, he's very Walt Disney-ish to a degree.
Yeah.
Like he's not in it to like make a buck. I mean, he would make money, and he is rich, but he wants to like give this to the world. He's just like, I'm doing this so people could see this and touch them and love it.
Yeah.
Like in some ways, I guess it's kind of like not like played up, but you could infer that it's like this. The idea is like I brought dinosaurs back, and that would be his lasting legacy forever.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about like how he wants to like entertain people, and he's like, I had a flea circus when I was like younger.
Yeah,
and
I wanted to give them something real.
Yeah.
Something they could actually touch.
It's interesting and like
Far cry from the book, John Hammond.
Yeah. So what's the book, John Hammond, like? Because I've never read the original book.
He's kind of an asshole.
Okay.
He is the opposite of the movie John Hammond. He is.
I'm gonna make so much money.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a line in the movie where the lawyer's like, we could charge people anything. We could make a fortune off of this. And Hammond's like, no, everyone in the world has the right to see these creatures. In the book, Hammond's like, everyone in the world's got the right to see these creatures. Well, the rich people anyway.
Okay.
And he dies. He gets his comeuppance.
Oh, really? Okay. He
Yeah.
gets eaten.
Yes, by compies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he falls down a hill, breaks his ankle, or twists his ankle or whatever, and just gets eaten by compies.
Interesting. I noticed in the first Jurassic Park, like, you notice all the dinosaurs. I noticed there's no pterosaurs in this one.
No, there's not.
Yeah. I guess, like, they kind of were smart enough to be like, yeah, those things are going to just immediately fly away.
Yeah, you would need some kind of complex aviary or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, in the book, there are pterosaurs, and they are kept in, like, an aviary kind of thing.
Okay.
Like we see in Jurassic World and Jurassic Park 3.
Right. It's weird, too, because, like, John Hammond, he's, like, funding, like, paleontology research by Alan Grant, and
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the lady. I know
Ellie.
Laura Dern. Ellie?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ellie, and he's just like, I've been paying for your research for 3 years, so come to my park and say how great it is so I can get approval from the investors, I guess.
And he offers them more funding.
Yeah.
And so, he gets them on a helicopter, brings them down, and it's like, hey, check it out. A fucking dinosaur. And they're like, what the fuck?
And then he also has, like, a math guy with him, because I guess he's, like...
Well, he's there because...
statistics and being like, here's the probability of something going wrong at this park mathematically proven.
Yeah, and he's
100%.
He's 100% right.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the movie, there's an incident where a park worker gets killed by a velociraptor.
Yeah.
And the lawyer representing Hammond's investors are like, yo, they're fucking concerned about this shit, about safety, about what the fuck you're doing here, John.
I mean, you're literally making an island full of monsters.
I don't even know if everyone was 100% sure what the fuck he was doing.
Stupid Scottish billionaires. It just shows me his money vault, and then it's just like, I'm gonna do a dive. And it's just like, you can't do that. He's just like, I'm John Hammond McDuck. I'll do what I want. Yeah. But, yeah, it is ridiculous, because, like, it's like, how did you do this? And I like when, like, the Ian Malcolm guys, like, you just, like, you didn't, like, create anything for this. You didn't do any of the work. You just took everybody else's research and then just, like, paid to make it happen because you're, like, rich. Like, without understanding anything about what you're doing.
Before you even knew what you had, you slapped it on Luntbosh, you patented it, you're selling it.
Yeah.
Man, that quote has been used so many times on so many memes.
It's a good quote.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely, like, for a character that spends most of the movie just being like, I'm hurt. Like, the beginning of the movie has some, like, good stuff to say.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, like, some of, like, the bigger stars of the movie besides, the dinosaurs. But, man, it just seems like everything is just, like, that T-Rex attack once that happens.
That is kind of the central, like, spectacle scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, I guess before that, too, there's the fat hacker guy, Dennis. who is Newman, who is trying to steal dinosaur DNA for mysterious benefactor.
A rival company.
Yeah, and like he has like the shaving cream can, and
Yeah.
I like when you meet him, like of course he's just like stuffing his face and like he's just all like, oh, this is great. He's just like, I got an 18-minute window to steal this shit. I mean, his computer hacking program, when he shuts down all the systems to steal the stuff that I've seen that as a meme a lot.
Oh yeah, I've seen that spoofed and referenced
Yeah.
so many times. I know a lot of people have made like a big deal of when he gets his comeuppance and gets eaten by a Dilophosaurus, he loses the shaving cream can and we see it buried in mud.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, what's gonna happen? Is someone gonna find that? Is that a sequel? It's like, well, no. That thing only had coolant to keep the embryos viable for like 36 hours or something, the guy said.
Yeah, that thing's done.
That is like, it's almost like a tribute to Psycho, where the plot is moved forward by this stolen money for like the first half hour of the movie, and then when the girl gets killed in the shower, the money's completely unimportant. The camera pans to it, being like, yeah, well, that's done.
Yeah.
And that's what that was. It's like, it was all for nothing. Everything he did to the park, to the people there, to John Hammond, it's all for nothing, because he's dead.
Yeah, and he's such a bad driver and an idiot. Like, yeah.
He's driving so recklessly in a freaking tropical storm.
Yeah.
There's no way that boat was still there anyway. That boat was long gone.
It's like glasses are all like fogged up, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, this is ridiculous.
He should have just been like, contact that guy, just be like, hey, look, fucking tropical storm happened. I couldn't do it. We'll do it next week.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like, why did it have to be like now? But I guess you wouldn't have the movie unless it was now.
No, it'd be kind of a boring movie if they just went through the park, didn't see some dinosaurs, saw some dinosaurs. Like, well, I mean, it was interesting, I guess, but you gotta get your act together on this zoo.
The thrillingness of dinosaurs and tropical storms.
You know,
It's like a movie like waiting to happen, Dino Hurricane.
you know what's funny?
It's
When they were filming this movie in Hawaii, they got actually hit by a storm.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All that footage you see of waves crashing into like docks and stuff, it's real footage. They shot that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they lost some of their sets and stuff, and like they had to like hunker down and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Spielberg was like, let's get some footage.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Hawaii doesn't really, I think, get too many like big like hurricanes.
They
and
did that
stuff.
here.
Yeah, I mean, like who knows now? But yeah, because they're pretty. Man, Hawaii is like one of those places where it's like in the middle of like the Pacific Ocean, like almost.
It's just weird timing.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I had just no idea until we like watched like I watched like the making of stuff. And it's like, oh wow, like the making of this movie is just as fascinating as the movie itself because they literally invented new technology to make this movie.
Yeah.
Like before this movie, CGI was still so new. They never even made a living creature. They made water and liquid metal and things like that. And someone at ILM had the balls enough to be like, no, I think we could do this.
I mean, all the dinosaurs look really good. And it feels stupid to like critique like now some of the stuff with like, you know, modern eyes. Like maybe like towards the end of the movie there's like some of those like smaller dinosaurs that maybe don't look as good, but like everything looks like this movie could have been made like, you know, recently. The only difference is like this movie doesn't have a sequel hook, so that's how you know it wasn't made recently.
Yeah.
It ends and you're like, that was satisfying, and there's no dun dun dun.
What a grand epic finale that was. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Close the book.
That's the only thing that dates this movie.
Yeah, compare that to the last Jurassic movie, ended on a fucking cliffhanger where dinosaurs are everywhere!
Yeah.
Also, there's a post-credit scene!
Yeah. But I guess we should talk about some of like the greatest moments of this movie, or the greatest moment of this movie.
The ending?
No, the greatest moment of the movie is when the T-Rex eats the guy on the toilet. It's proof of how Steven Spielberg is like a genius filmmaker that still has not been topped because of that one scene. It's the greatest thing ever.
It's because a lawyer got eaten out of toilet?
It's so great though. It's so ridiculous. It's like the dinosaur crashes into the bathroom, all the walls fall down, and then he's just sitting on one toilet in the middle of the rainforest, and then the dinosaur eats him. It's genius. It's the best thing in this movie. It's so good.
I mean, I like it. It's not my favorite part, but I like it.
I mean, yeah, there's the scene with the T-Rex chasing the car, but like the guy on the toilet being eaten by a T-Rex is incredible. It's like a cinematic achievement. Like, I hope this movie got an Oscar for that.
I mean, they might have got some nominations at the very least for the visual effects.
Yeah. It's like best scene in movie ever. Man getting eaten on a toilet by a T-Rex.
You know, I'm not sure the Oscars have that category.
Well, it's a pretty good scene. But anyway.
The entire T-Rex attack is great. It's so well built up. They set it up earlier with the goat, and then they come back. There's the goat again. There's the boom, boom. There's the circles in the glass, in the water, and all that. There's the shaking of the mirror, which was apparently one of the most difficult things for them to do. Well, not the mirror, but the water.
Like in the footprint, or?
Well, not about the footprint, but the cups of water.
Oh,
Getting
okay.
those rings was apparently very hard to figure out.
Huh. Interesting.
They eventually cracked it by using guitar string.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, that whole, like, scene is, like, so suspenseful, like, with the kids trapped in the Jeep and the T-Rex, like, and they have the light, and, like, the T-Rex is like, oh, it only can see you when you're moving, and...
They can't stop moving!
Yeah.
Smashed through the glass, which may or may not have been an accident in real life.
Oh, no.
I've heard stories. I don't know if they're true or not.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome, and it makes for a terrifying moment, because, man... Who would want to be a kid? An adult would be terrified in that moment, let alone a child.
Yeah, you got the kids trapped, and then, you know, Alan and Malcolm, like, distract the T-Rex, and then Malcolm gets hit into the bathroom, and then the most incredible scene ever happens with the man being eaten on the toilet, but then the T-Rex goes back for the kids and hits him into, like, the tree, and crazy. That one little boy, man, he gets so fucked up in this movie.
He really does. And you know what his only crime was? Loving dinosaurs.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if he ever came back in the sequels. He's like, no, screw that. Like, I'm done. It's like, if anything, I'm making everything possible to kill dinosaurs.
Oh, man, imagine if he shows up in Dominion and he's just like, we're going to kill all these fucking dinosaurs.
I mean, the kid gets knocked into the tree, then he falls out of the tree, the car falls on him and Alan, he gets electrocuted. Like, he fucking gets electrocuted.
He gets chased by...
He should be dead.
Yeah,
he was dead. Alan had to revive him with CPR.
Yeah. And don't forget, almost getting eaten by raptors.
That too. Man, those raptors are smart too.
Yeah.
And creepy, like, especially when they're walking around and they're, like, clicking, like, their, like, claws against, like, the tiles and stuff.
Dude, that shot of the doorknob turning was so freaking unnerving when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, God. Because, like, could you imagine it's just, like, a lion doing that?
Yeah, I think I saw, like, when I was a little, or maybe older, but I remember seeing, like, an interview with maybe Steven Spielberg, and he's just like, yeah, the T-Rex is impressive, but the raptors are the ones you really have to be scared of, because they're smart. Like...
Yeah, I mean, they all ultimately are the big bads of the movie. They're the final villain, and the T-Rex is an accidental hero.
Yeah.
In the actual greatest scene in cinematic history.
The T-Rex versus the raptor?
Hell yeah!
It's pretty good, but
I fucking love that scene.
I like it too, but like the man getting eaten by a dinosaur on a toilet.
Force of nature! The Tyrannosaurus Rex asserting its dominance, but those punk-ass raptors and fucking their asses up.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy, like, that scene with the T-Rex eats the raptor and then he, like, roars and, like, the Jurassic Park banner falls right in front of him. Like, that banner's, like, CGI, you know, is, like, you know, it is what it is when it was, like, 1993. Looks pretty good, but, like, you could tell it's, like, yeah, that's computer banner, but that T-Rex roaring there, like, is just so cool.
It's fucking iconic.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the Jurassic Park movies have a shot that comes even close to that.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, like, that is a cool scene. I mean, the whole movie is cool. It has a lot of style, and it's really cool.
I mean, the logo, which is the logo for the park and universe, is great.
I do love like that part where like they just show the gift shop and it's just like, look at all the stuff you can buy
Definitely.
in the real world.
That probably was really merchandise that they made. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I probably had a few of them as a kid.
Yeah. Like everybody had that like Jurassic Park shirt at one point, you know?
Yeah, I had some Jurassic Park toys growing up.
Yeah. The weird Jurassic Park toys with the piece of skin that comes out of the dinosaurs.
Was never a fan.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would never stay on, and sometimes you could never get them off. And then you would just lose it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just lost it. Like the few Jurassic Park dinosaur toys I had, like that piece of skin, I remember like taking it off and on like constantly, and then just losing it and being like, it's gone forever.
Yep.
It's like Spider-Man's riding this dinosaur now. Or maybe at that time it would be more like Red Ranger's riding this dinosaur.
I definitely don't have a Jurassic Park T-Rex on display somewhere with a Batman cowl wearing Michelangelo riding it.
Nice.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Sure, I didn't think like the one weird dinosaur like we talked about earlier, not in the podcast though, the
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, with the freaking fringe and spitting acid at the hacker guy.
That dinosaur has been completely fabricated. Like Dilophosaurus was just like your standard theropod predator.
Yeah.
But they kept it small. I mean, I always just shrugged it off as just being like a juvenile.
Right.
But then they added like the frill, and the acid spitting was in the book as like the idea was just like, well, maybe a dinosaur could have that, but we'd have no way of knowing because it's just fossils.
Yeah, because I guess like the book kind of assumes like more of like dinosaurs are like descendants of lizards, but this movie is like very much like they're descendants of birds, and they actually are.
Yeah.
So
ancestors.
Yeah, ancestors. Right. I said descendants, but whatever. I'm dumb. Biology.
But, and I said it before when we were talking, it still drives me crazy. Anytime I see a Dilophosaurus depicted outside of Jurassic Park with that damn frill, and I still fucking see it, it kind of pisses me off.
Because it doesn't have it.
No.
Yeah.
It was made up for the movie.
Yeah.
It's not real.
You know, history of dinosaurs not being what they seem, but corrected once they understand more. I mean, when we were kids, we had no idea that dinosaurs actually had feathers, and now we know, like, they do have feathers, and it's like...
At least most of them did. A
Yeah.
lot of them had either a lot or even just a little bit.
Yeah. It's crazy, and I know in, like, Jurassic World, they say the thing about, like, we made these things look the way people want them to look, but, like, in this movie, it's like, well, we combined them with, like, frog DNA to, fill in the gaps, because I guess like amphibian DNA can transmutate or something.
It was just so they could justify the dinosaurs breeding on their own later on.
Yeah, because of the whole like they can change genders, amphibians.
Some of them, yeah, apparently. And though not a lot is made of it, it's just kind of a, oh shit, life found a way.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got to get chased by raptors. But it's a much bigger part of the book.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you want me to...
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I guess right now I can just compare and contrast the book to the movie a bit, because there's only so much we could say. It's like, it's awesome, the movie!
Yeah, it's the greatest movie ever made.
Everybody's seen the movie.
Yeah.
But, it follows fairly similar stories, theme park going crazy. All Newman's fault. Newman!
Damn it, Newman.
Fucking Newman. But the whole dinosaurs breeding on their own thing is like kind of a major story beat, because when the book starts, it starts with an incident of an injured person getting brought to a hospital under shady circumstances. They say, like, oh, it was a construction accident. And one of the doctors is like, it looks like you got mauled by a jaguar. But he's like, El Raptor. He's like, what the fuck?
Huh.
And it's like, they look it up, bird of prey, what the fuck? And then a little girl on a beach in Costa Rica gets attacked by compies.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That scene got repurposed for The Lost World in the movies.
Yeah.
And, like dinosaurs are getting off the island. And they're just like, no, they're not.
What island? What dinosaurs?
And it comes up later where they're like, no, all our dinosaurs are accounted for. See, our computer system keeps track of all our dinosaurs, and they're all accounted for. But then they realize the flaw in the system. the computer was programmed to detect whether or not the population went under the number that they set it at. It never was programmed to detect if it went above that number. So when they reconfigure the system and they see their new population, they're like, holy shit, there's a lot more dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. So the book is more like, there's too many dinosaurs. Like
There's an element to that. There's a ticking clock added to the Grant and the kids Lost in the Park where they see a cargo ship leaving the island and they spot some like juvenile raptors on it or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, shit, dinosaurs are gonna get to the mainland. We gotta radio the boat. We gotta tell them. They gotta stop that. So that becomes like a major thing. And it's even, I remember at the end, while they catch the ones that were on the boat, there's still ones that reach the mainland and they've disappeared into the jungle and they can't find them.
Jeez.
So in the universe of Jurassic Park, the novel, there's just dinosaurs hiding somewhere in a Costa Rican rainforest.
Yeah. Is there, in the movie, there's something mentioned that I was wondering about because one of the scientist guys, I think it's the guy that actually is in Jurassic World, says, like, well, we have a failsafe where the dinosaurs don't have this certain protein.
Sam Jackson's character says.
Yeah. And if they don't get like this like
the
protein,
lysine.
they'll just die.
Yeah. That's in the book, but I believe the ones that like escape to the mainland are supplementing that with like certain plants or whatever.
Yeah.
So like it's like, oh no, they're gonna be fine.
Interesting.
But the lysine deficiency is kind of pointless for the dinosaurs in the main island because that island gets napalmed. They destroy it. They're like, fuck this shit.
Like, is it like the army that just comes to napalm?
They say it was like the Costa Rican military, but I don't think the Costa Rican military, or even, no, it probably should have just been the U.S. military.
Yeah.
Either way, it just gets destroyed.
Okay. Interesting. Crazy.
Oh yeah, there's other differences too. Like, there's characters that have bigger roles, like the guy you just mentioned, Wu.
Yeah.
Much bigger role in the book. Also gets eaten by a raptor.
Oh, okay.
There's a character named Ed Regis who's like just kind of a sleazy PR person. He's kind of been combined with the lawyer guy Gennaro in the movie because in the book Gennaro's kind of just an everyman, not a dick. He lives in the end.
So he doesn't get eaten by a dinosaur while sitting on a toilet.
No. But the other guy does get...
The book's not as good as the movie.
Well, the other guy does get eaten by a T-Rex, but he gets eaten by a juvenile T-Rex, because in the book there's two.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there's the full-grown adult, and there's a juvenile.
Okay.
Also, there's like 8 raptors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the game warden guy, Muldoon, he's much more competent in the book, because he's just like, all right, so dinosaur hides are a little too thick for regular arms, so I got a fucking bazooka. Fucking blows a raptor up with one.
I mean, he didn't seem like incompetent.
I know, but like he doesn't go out like a punk.
Yeah.
He lives.
He kind of seemed like stereotypical, like I'm your like English like African game hunter. I'm just missing one of those safari helmets and an elephant gun.
Oh, he had a weird hat though.
Yeah. Like he wasn't Australian, but like
I'm gonna say
he seemed like kind of crocodile hunter-esque to me.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's probably South African, I bet.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Not gonna even attempt an accent.
I don't know. Something. One of those. I don't know if that was a British accent or one of them deviations of British accents.
Like our accent.
I don't know what the bloody hell you're talking about, mate.
Yeah.
Also, there's just more people on the island too, because not everyone goes home. There's a lodge, like what was I guess would be a hotel for guests to stay at.
Okay.
Like the park is much more elaborate in the book than what we see in the movie.
The park's still not like open to the public.
No, because it's still the basic like we're testing this out.
Yeah, we're getting approval.
We need some experts to sign off on this. You know, you got Malcolm, who's just like this shit's kind of fucked.
Yeah. It's like your Monster Island is not getting approved by me.
Yeah, and you know, it still follows a lot of the same beats. Nedry causing shenanigans, T-Rex attack, blah, blah, blah. It's all slightly different. Grant and the kids have their adventures are a little different. There's an incident on a river. They have some pterosaurs they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Also, Grant doesn't hate kids.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't really have a character arc.
So he doesn't have the moment at the beginning where he scares the hell out of that one like little kid at the beginning that's like giving him shit about dinosaurs being birds.
Nah.
And he's like, this is how a raptor would like eat you and like carve up your stomach while you're still alive. He'd start eating you.
No, because like I said, I don't think he really had a character arc.
Okay.
The movie character had a character arc because movie characters should have character arcs.
Yeah.
I mean, book characters should too, but it was less about the characters and more about this, like the overall story.
Right.
Because like, there's no one main viewpoint character in the book, so.
Well, it's interesting.
It's worth a read.
Yeah.
Some of there's some dated dino science in it here and there. I remember there was like a weird moment where like the T-Rex like has like a tongue that's a little too long.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Kind of like a lizard thing almost. Not like it doesn't like shoot out rapid fast, but remember he was like the T-Rex was like wrapping it around one of the kids trying to eat it.
Oh my god. When was this book written anyway?
89, 90, I think.
Okay, so it was out like for a little bit, and I guess the book must have just been like a mega hit that they're like, we got to make a movie.
I mean, it was getting some attention even before it came out, and Spielberg was like friends with Michael Crichton. Like, I remember in the making of stuff, he's like, hey, what are you working on, Michael? And he's like, oh, I got this idea with dinosaurs. And Spielberg's like, dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Fucking dinosaurs? I love dinosaurs. Tell me what you got.
Dinosaurs, you say?
And, you know, it's a cool idea. It's like the basic premise of an advanced theme park gone awry. It wasn't even the first time Michael Crichton used that premise.
I'm not familiar with his other works.
He wrote the original movie Westworld.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so theme park gone awry.
Oh. So what you're saying is he's a hack? No.
You're only a hack if you steal from other people.
That's true.
If you steal from yourself, you're a genius.
I guess that's true.
Come on, Stan Lee stole from himself all the time.
I guess so. Yeah. But that's funny. Yeah, I didn't know he was Westworld as well.
Yeah, he wrote the script for Westworld.
That's crazy.
Because I remember when that new HBO version came out, I saw a lot of people be like, it's a little like Jurassic Park. And I'm like, yeah, the fuck you say.
It's just like, well, you see, it was written by the same guy.
Yeah, and the Westworld came first.
Crazy. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know what else we could say about Jurassic Park besides, like, it's a great movie. Go watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch the greatest scene ever of a man being eaten by a T-Rex on a toilet.
Listen to a great score made by John Williams, who just makes great scores usually.
Yeah. Yeah, that music is great.
It's fantastic.
Like, really good. Anything else you want to add?
I don't know what else I could say about Jurassic Park. I mean, I fucking love this movie. I've read the books, I've played the video games, I've seen the movie so many times.
I don't think I've ever played a Jurassic Park video game.
They're mostly bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think there was one in the arcade I played once when I was like at like Six Flags or something.
There was like a fighting game for PlayStation, original PlayStation, that was okay.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible! Like, you just pick like the dinosaurs,
Yes.
or are you just like George Hammond versus?
No, it was dinosaurs.
Or John Hammond versus
John
Alan
Hammond.
Grant.
And then Alan Grant wins in like 2 hits because John Hammond's an old man.
Yeah, John Hammond's just like Amber Kane.
Or he just says, call the T-Rex.
Yeah. It's just like hacker guy, Dennis, whatever, wins.
Sam Jackson, motherfucker.
So weird. Sam Jackson, just a normal guy in this movie.
It is before he got big.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where like it's almost like unrecognizable. It's just like
He's got hair too.
Yeah, it's just like, wait, that's
Oh, it's
Sam
probably a wig.
Jackson. Yeah.
It's Sam Jackson and he's not calling someone a motherfucker. What the hell?
Yeah, he's not Nick Fury.
I know he was supposed to have like an actual like on-screen death, but they didn't film it, I think. I think it might have had to do with the storm that hit. They just couldn't film it and they were just like, off-screen death.
Works pretty good with Ellie finding his arm and being like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you'd probably realize something bad happened to him.
Yeah.
But I think Sam Jackson lamented that he's like, man, I wanted to be eaten by a dinosaur on screen.
Would have been pretty cool. Well, I guess on that note, go watch Jurassic Park.
I mean, you probably already have.
Yeah.
Watch it again. It's great.
Yeah, and we're at Out of Touch Podcast. Watch our previous videos, because nobody watched them.
Oh.
Low Stakes YouTube. That's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Life found a way.